known by its map designation as Area 51.
We're now learning Area 51,
known as Area 51.
Thank you for
Near
clearing that
Area
up.
51.
Thank you.
Known as Area 51.
Because Area 51 is very important.
They called him Jimmy, and everybody wanted to be his friend.
Was good. Welcome here to Area 51 here with Jimmy James telling you the truth about boxing. For all you fans that like boxing, you'll like this page. We normally do lives in Spanish, but we also do clips in English as well. We're trying to have a community, and the whole purpose of it is to just go ahead and go back to old school boxing and just kind of like forget what's going on in boxing right now, because between the undefeated records, A side, B side, and all this garbage, it's just completely destroying the sport. And we're seeing a lot of fighters that are just not taking the risk. So here we appreciate the boxers who are taking the risk, and we do not appreciate the fighters, I don't care if they have more money or not, who are not taking the risk, because at the end of the day, the sport is one sport, and it's not just separated on who makes more money or not. It's really who is fighting each other for all the belts. So that's the most important thing for us. So today I got this audio that was done by ES News about Terence Crawford, and I wanted to play for you guys. And I want to show you what I was telling you before, that Terence Crawford is not guilty of anything. He tried to make the fight happen, so he came forward. It wasn't Errol Spence. Errol Spence got caught talking in an audio that was leaked. Terence Crawford went online and actually spoke about what was going on. That's the difference. Why is Errol Spence not coming out and speaking? Why is he not tweeting about the whole situation, the negotiations? Why is he not doing that? And that's the point. At the end of the day, he knows very well that it's not Crawford's fault. And he admitted it in the leaked audio. So let's go ahead and play what Terence Crawford said. And I'll just give you my opinion on it. So let's get it.
You've spoken about the contract negotiations with Earl Spence, with Haymon. What's up, Chicago?
Get into it. About to get into it.
Terence Crawford, he's going to talk about the negotiations. He's going to talk about everything that happened. What happened?
Yeah. So listen, y'all. I'm about to give it to y'all raw and uncut. I started talking to Team Spence, I would say, and Al Haymon and them about May, right after his fight, just going back and forth. They sent me a proposal with the interest of Spence and Crawford fight. We didn't get a contract until August, and it was just kind of like a regular contract. It wasn't nothing. It was an initial proposal. It wasn't even a contract. It was a proposal, and Spence, Crawford, the intentions of us fighting. Okay, so we going on the basically the negotiations of what a contract would look like before we actually got the actual contract. I know it goes into saying a guy that never represented Crawford, have no whatsoever place in Team Crawford's, stable, representing me in a contract which I have no nothing upon, that I to. So basically, that was the standpoint of what the contract would look like. So basically, I'm talking. That's like, I don't even know this guy. You know, how can you do that? He's like, well, the guy stated he's a part of your team and whatnot. And, you know, we going back and forth, you know. I was a good dude, man. I was a, you know, charming guy, you know. He's a cool dude, you know. I kind of like talking to him, but at the same time, Spence is our guy. I'm not. So, of course, he's going to do what's best for, you know, his fighter, his guy. That's like, you know, any other manager slash advisor would do. He would do the best for his fighter. So, you know, me and Al, we talk on the phone, you know. I get advice from other guys in PBC. They tell me, you know, be careful, make sure the deal is right. They tell me, make sure you don't get bugged about, you know, the numbers. We're not going back and forth about anything else. We're just going back and forth about the numbers. All in all, I have two companies, you know, that reach out to me that wanted to get me in Spence. $25 million guaranteed. $25 million guaranteed up front. So a real guy like myself, I call Spence. Hey, bro, look, listen. You know what I mean? I got this company that's willing to give us $25 million a piece, guaranteed. What's up? What you gonna do? He like, $25 million. What about the back end? I'm like, dude, listen. If they make their money back, then we get 80-20. You know what I mean? It's simple math. I said, man, we got people still in the fight. They got the fire sticks. He back. He like, man, I got a fire stick too. I'm like, see? I'm like, man, nobody really buying, you know what I mean, pay-per-views no more. I said, man, we get this upfront money, and we good. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? But one thing about me, and I would say the difference between me and the difference between Spence is I'm really my own boss now, and he's not. He got to go through Al. He got to go through, you know what I mean, his team and ask them if he can do certain things that I don't have to. Yeah, I might have to when I was with Top Rank because I was signed to Top Rank and they was my promotional company. So, of course, I had to go to Top Rank and ask them to get me this fight or do this for me or do that for me because I was obligated to do certain things by their standard because I was signed to them. But now that I'm a free agent and I'm free to do whatever I want, I'm the one sitting at the table. I'm the one that's you know, talking directly to these high individuals. Errol Spence not talking to, you know what I mean, Terrence Crawford about the fight. You know what I mean? Errol Spence wasn't at the table. Errol Spence can't tell you or show you a contract that, you know what I mean, says Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, you know, that he was there on the negotiations of. He can't do it. You know, so he had to go back and ask for permission, you know, if he can, you know, take this big chunk of lump sum of money to buy Terrence Crawford, which he didn't call me back, so I proposed it to Al. You know, and I got this big hedge fund company out here, you know, they claim they know you. Not one, but two. Not one, but two. You know, two companies willing to put 20 plus million in both of our pocket, guaranteed. I'll tell me straight up, I'm not letting nobody touch this fight. I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm like, why? He's like, why would you want to put a ceiling on it? on yourself? Why you want to put a cap on yourself? I'm like, well, that's not putting a cap on myself if this company is taking a risk. And, you know, risk, high risk, you know what I mean, high reward. If that's the case, you know, I can't seem to see a fight that's been doing millions, you know, since Floyd them. So, you know, that was an altercation, you know. I asked Al, I said, since this fight is dragging on with me and Spence, and we can't get things together, why don't I come out and meet you with my lawyer and we just wrap it up? Just me and you and my lawyer. Al said, you know, his mother was, you know what I mean, not doing too well. And I honor that and I respect that. You know, family first. I'm a family oriented type of guy, so I know what it is, you know, to, you know, put your family first. So I'm cool with that. But then again, you know, as negotiations still drag on, and I had stated that I wanted to fight in this year. I asked Al again because we seemed like we wasn't getting nowhere. So I asked Al. I said, Al, listen, why don't you get Spence and you, since you his representative, and I'll get myself and my lawyer, and we just make this fight. You know what I mean? Anything we gotta do, we can do it right there and sign, seal, deliver. And Al told me straight up, history of ever, where two fighters sit down at the table and they come to an agreement and they get a fight made like that. Not even Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. So I'm like, okay, well, it's the first time for everything. I never heard of a fighter ever taking zero guarantee in a fight. Never heard of a four-rounder taking 0% of a guarantee. That's something that's new to me, but that's something that I was willing to do to make this fight happen. People, you know, they say, oh, well, Terrence, you dubbed, or Terrence, you did this, and you didn't want to fight Spence. I'm the only one that was taking all the risks. You know, I told him, all right, cool. I'll take no guarantee. I'll take, you know what I mean, the less end of the money. You know, whatever it is you want, I'll take it because that's how much confidence I got that I'm going to beat that man. That's how much confidence I got I'm going to beat that man. So, you know, even though I know I was getting fucked in the long run, I just, you know, wanted a little transparency. I said, okay, if I'm gonna bet on myself and I'm gonna go against all the odds, then I wanna, you know what I mean, a little transparency. Of course, you know, I wanna be able to write off on, you know, things that's gonna affect my check. Of course, I wanna see if the numbers add up to what they telling me. You're not gonna go in. It's just simple to me to think that a person will go in a business with a person 50-50 and this person would tell them, well, you got to give me 50% down and I give you 50%. And then you say, oh, well, I'm not going to tell you how much we really made, but I'm going to just give you this. You just got to trust me. Come on. It don't make no sense. I never was offered a guarantee. Not once. I never, you know what I mean, was getting anything. But here, you want this fight? We gonna fuck you. You know what I mean? You got what you want. But you know, that's how much confidence and faith I have in myself. You know, I took it all. I took it all. I took the risk. You know, big risk for big reward. That's how I look at it. And I believe in my abilities, and I believe in myself. So I'm like, it's whatever. You know, Earl Spence, he can't say the same. He can't say the same. You know, he on audio. I'm saying I ain't gonna make sure he's good. He's in the best position to win this fight. Of course he is. He supposed to. You know, you got everything surrounding you to help you. You know, so people mad at me because Al told me that I don't take this fight. He's just gonna go and Errol Spence gonna make 8 million, eight figures. He's gonna make 8 figures without me. So basically, he telling me, well, you take this fighter or leave it, or you got nothing. Basically, because we been dragging and dragging and dragging. So when I don't know, like the type of caliber of people that he been dealing with or they been dealing with, but I'm not the type of guy to just sit on my ass and sit on my hands for no man to feed my family. So you mad at me for taking a fight with a tough opponent? You know, you may not know him, but he's a tough opponent for a bigger purse. I guarantee that I wouldn't get. You crazy in the head. You crazy in the head. So now here we go. You know what I mean? Back to square. You know what I mean? One. Like, what do you really expect? You expect me to be disrespected, ran over, stepped on, and just sit there and just take it? That's crazy. That ain't my style. See, me personally, I wasn't even gonna say nothing because I'm not talking to the type, and y'all pretty much know that. But sometimes, you know, you gotta say what's real. You gotta say what's on your mind, and you gotta stop letting these people just do what they want with you. A lot of people say, well, did he ask to see Bob Arum's books? Did he ask for transparency with Bob Arum? No, I didn't. You know why? A lot of y'all probably don't even know why. But I was signed to Bob Arum. I wasn't my own boss. I was given a guarantee on every single fight that I fought for Bob Arum in Top Rank. That's the difference. That's the difference, you guys. So if you guys can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You know? So I stated that I wanted to fight this year, and that was my thing. I wanted to fight this year. So we going back and forth, numbers, boom, 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 boom. So the transparency part, you know, that was the drag. Where was Errol Spence at? I didn't hear Errol Spence. Where was the tweets? I didn't hear the tweets. I didn't see the tweets. Where was this guy at? He was under a rock. If you're real like you say you is, like the truth, you'll come on and tell the truth. Tell the truth, buddy. Come on, man. I called you and told you, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not your own boss, my dude. So stop saying that you your own boss. Stop saying that you the truth and you this and you that, but you gotta answer to a lot of people, my dude. You gotta answer to a lot of people. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They got you to where you is now. They got you to where you is now. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. But like, when you look at it, a lot of people say, oh, well, why you didn't fight Boots? Or why you didn't fight Ortiz?
Virgil Ortiz.
Names that never came up. I would have fucking names in a heartbeat. Come on, man. I'm the best fighter in the world. Who you think I am? Who you think I am? I'm the best fighter in the world. I always fought in my mandatories. I ain't never done my mandatories. But, you know, yet and still, I hear through the grapevine, Spence is about to fight a guy that he comments and he swear that he wasn't going to fight, which is Keith Thurman. I don't know how true that is, but it was floating around. So, what's up with the trueness with that? You swear up and down. You don't care what nobody say. You about to fight him. So that means you was lying, buddy. But you know why you gotta fight Thurman? You want to know why? Because of the money. It's all about the money. He not gonna make that much money fighting Ortiz or Boots. Come on, man, it's obvious. Who's Spence gonna fight besides me that's gonna make, $20 million? Nobody. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I don't know how truthful it is, but Floyd say, he's the spokesman of PBC and he's out right there, man. We done heard that on numerous occasions. And Floyd came out and said that the fight wasn't happening in this year. So y'all mad at me for going to get it back? Y'all mad at me for going to get back? Come on, man. We're going to turn up with BLK crime. You know what I mean? We're going to do our thing, man. We're stepping up to the plate, man. They turning boxing around, man. All the biggest fights, you know what I mean, going through them. They the new wave. Hey, giving these fighters, they just do. You want to fight this guy, they gonna make it happen. It's simple. But hey, my intentions is still the same. After this fight, Spence, successful. I'm successful. He said he gonna spin the block. Can't let him spin the block so I can drop him off where he's standing. And that's just how I'm gonna keep it. It's just that simple. He spin the block. He's gonna be ready for whatever. And y'all fans, y'all can, chop it up and edit it and put it however y'all want and try to change the narrative or my words. But December 10th, tune in to BLK Friday. Black Friday, baby. We're in the building. Tune in, y'all. If y'all don't, y'all some haters. If y'all do, it is what it is, man. Support the kid.
So there you have it, guys. Terrence Crawford was live.
All right. So I want to give a few of my commentaries here because he hit in a few points that I think I've told you before. Every confirmation about what Terrence Crawford said is true. I talked to the director of B&B Academy, which is Steven Nelson, who's also a boxer as well, who's friends with Terrence Crawford. We saw what Mike Coppinger said, and he said it right next to Max Kellerman. And no matter how you try to spin it, there's only one person who's come forward and actually spoken about the problem with these negotiations, and that was Terrence Crawford. So that means that the other side is hiding the truth. And I don't give a fuck if you're an Errol Spence fan. We know that Terrence Crawford spoke the truth because even in the audio, the Errol Spence that was leaked by Errol Spence, or somebody leaked it, it confirms everything that Terrence Crawford said. They didn't guarantee a 35%. They didn't guarantee me anything. He was actually even talking about getting us, I guess in pay-per-view revenues, 80-20. But there's no guarantee. He couldn't see the books. Everything that was talking about here happened to be true. On top of that, he called Errol Spence He said he called Errol Spence and he offered him a 25% guarantee, or 20 plus, he said, 20 million, 25 million, with two different companies who were willing to actually pay and guarantee the purse. And what did Errol Spence do? Well, I don't know. He never called him back. So what did Terrence Crawford do? Remember that. Errol Spence didn't call him back. Who called who? Crawford called Spence. Crawford's trying to make the fight. That's why you call. But you Errol Spence fans have fucking methane in your head. You don't understand. You're just too dumb to understand. That's the problem. So he offers that to Al Haymon. And Al Haymon says, well, no, because we want to do it all. PBC wants to do it themselves. They don't need anybody else. We'll just, no, we're doing it ourselves. We're not taking any other offer. And that's 25 mil guaranteed from two different companies. So what does Crawford do? He still wants to fight. He tells Al Haymon, okay, we'll do it your way. I'll bring my lawyer and we can sit down with you and Spence because you're his representative and we can negotiate. And what does Al Haymon say? Well, that's never been done before. Not even Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Manny Pacquiao did that. All right, bro, well, what you want, man? You can't even guarantee the man a purse. So let's talk it out. Let's make it happen. You're not even a promoter, according, right? You're not a promoter. You're an advisor. Unless you're lying and you are a manager and a promoter, which is against the Muhammad Ali Act. You can't do that. That's why he got sued, Al Haymon. So, but if you're the advisor, you wouldn't have any problems speaking to Errol Spence and speaking to Terrence Crawford. It's never been done before. We can't do it. Well, Crawford said there's always a first time for everything. Of course we can. No. Al Haymon doesn't want to. And at the end of the day, Crawford said it right. They want the money. They want the money. BLK, his new promotional company, offered him $10 million guaranteed. When he was with Bob Arum guaranteed him the money. But see, this is the problem. Because no PBC fighters want to fight Crawford, he could never get the fight. But Bob Arum said it one time. He said it clear. He said, if the other side wants to fight, we can make these fights happen. But it seems like Al Haymon is trying for his fighters not to lose their undefeated record. And that's the problem. So instead, he's now fighting Keith Thurman, which is the new mandatory, right? So already Jaron Ennis, like Crawford said, and also the other guy, Jaron Ennis and Stenionis, requested to fight Errol Spence already. But he still wants to fight Keith Thurman. And Errol Spence told us that he wasn't going to do that Keith Thurman fight. But now he's telling us he has a surprise. If the surprise is Keith Thurman, then it's not a surprise because you just told us you're not going to fight him. And I don't want to see him fight Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman hasn't done shit. Keith Thurman lost against Manny Pacquiao. Okay? On top of that, he's being super inactive. And the only reason why they even ranked him that high is because he won a 140 who went to 147, which is named Mario Barrios, who wasn't even a champion. And they ranked him as a mandatory in the WBC for Errol Spence. Come on, man. You don't believe that. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's just the whole system is rigged, man. The whole thing is rigged. And it's sad because Terrence Crawford is telling you, like, what am I supposed to do as a boxer? The other fights were not offered to him, so either there's true that and that, but one thing he did say, which is true, is that he's never ducked a mandatory. He never did duck a mandatory. He always fought his mandatories. He always fought his mandatories. But Manny Pacquiao didn't want to be his mandatory. No, I'll vacate my belt now that Jeff Horn has beat him. Now that he beat Jeff Horn, sorry. I gotta go. I don't want to be his mandatory. Sean Porter hesitated to fight him. He didn't want it. And now Errol Spence is in a position where why not fight Bud Ennis? He is his mandatory. Will he fight him? Or will he duck him? Well, Virgil Ortiz don't want that fight. And unfortunately, De La Hoya and Golden Boy don't want it either. Because they would have requested, they would have forced the WBO mandatory immediately to fight Crawford. They haven't done it. Why? They don't want the fucking fight. That's why. So, this is transparency. Somebody came out and explained what's going on. Why hasn't Errol Spence come out and spoken about any of this? Because what he's saying is totally bullshit. Okay? It's always been Crawford who's been the open guy. In fact, Crawford, as he said, I am the guy in charge. I don't have a promoter in the sense that, I don't need to negotiate a fight with a promoter. I can just do it myself. Errol Spence needs to negotiate the fight with Haymon. And Haymon is having problems. Now, my guess for this is that there is some sort of fear in PBC. This is my guess. I can't confirm, but I know for a fact because I was looking at some of the numbers, and I listened to another radio host one time say, it was last year, that PBC is losing a lot of money because of the piracy and everything else. And even Crawford was talking about using a Fire Stick, to watch the fight or whatever. So I think PBC is not making too much money. Since Floyd Mayweather Jr. left, they really haven't had a star that's made that much money, and they probably borrow a lot of money knowing these promotional companies, how they work. In fact, apparently Crawford said that Floyd Mayweather Jr. must know something because he was saying that the fight will be for 2023. So this is not Terence Crawford's fault. This is all the wrongdoing of PBC. You got to remember, it was Floyd Mayweather Jr. and you can say whatever you want, but it was Floyd Mayweather Jr. who didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao for 8 years. 8 years. We all know who started this undefeated bullshit. Okay, and listen, when Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat his ass. But let's be honest here. What's the trend? Is it on Crawford's side? Was it on Top Rank? I mean, Bob Arum was giving us good fights prior to this undefeated horse shit. Okay? But Al Haymon was new to the game. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. too. And since that came out, now Canelo Alvarez is doing the same. Gennady Golovkin is doing the same. Anthony Joshua was trying to play that game with Eddie Hearns. There's many fighters who are doing the same garbage and is destroying the sport. So that's not coming from Terence Crawford's side. And that never came from Bob Arum's side. Just look at the fights that he did in the past. Prior to having this undefeated bullshit that came in the late, this came under Floyd Mayweather Jr. Where did this come from? It came from Al Haymon. And I don't give a shit what you think about Terence Crawford. He's been avoided. He was avoided by Danny Garcia in 130 and 140. Danny Garcia went up. Nope, I'm not fighting him. And a lot of people say, well, he's not going to fight Victor Posto. Yep, he fought him. Became undisputed champion not long after. And he was a pound for pound in his moment, Victor Posto, unless you were born yesterday. He fought him. He wanted to fight Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, nope, I don't want to fight him. No, sir. He didn't duck Yorkis Gamboa when he was dangerous. A lot of people thought Yorkis Gamboa was going to beat him. He took the fight. I've never seen Terence Crawford duck the fighter in my life. I can't say that. He wanted to fight Keith Thurman when he came in. Keith Thurman, oh, he's not ready for the division yet. You know, let's give us some time, and we'll see. We'll see. Oh, he'll get beat by any true welter. It never happened. He didn't duck Jeff Horn. Oh, it's Jeff Horn. Now Errol Spence wants to fight. Yeah, I want to fight Jeff Horn. I remember it. Oh, Crawford won. Yeah, I'll just wait. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Who's brainwashing you, bro? Who started this garbage? It's all PBC. Has nothing to do with Crawford. And that's $25 million. And honestly, for the sake of Errol Spence, for the sake of, I don't give a fuck if you put a shirt on that you want Terrence Crawford. That's easy to do. That just sounds like bullshit to me. Go and speak about what happened. Because right now, everything is against you. Anybody who knows and listened to Crawford and is not, doesn't have Errol Spence's dick in his mouth, knows what's going on. And all the indicators from all the journalists, from when I interviewed certain people, everything is in Terrence Crawford's side, is not in Errol Spence's side. And he called him. He didn't call. And after they spoke about this, Errol Spence never called him back. He called Al Haymon. Al Haymon didn't call him. It was him that called Al Haymon. So supposedly Bob Arum was the problem in the end. Bob Arum didn't want to make the fights. Now he's alone. He's alone. Al Haymon still cannot make the fight, and Terrence Crawford is calling him. What are you talking about? You lost your brain or what? 1 + 1 does not equal 3, bro. And all that means to me is that PBC fighters, they don't want to take risk. And I'll tell you why. Because how is it possible that our buddy, Jaron Ennis, cannot get a fight with Danny Garcia? Or let's say with Errol Spence? Or with Sean Porter he can now, he's retired, but why can't he get those fights? Or with Keith Thurman? They're in the same promotional company. Very strange. Or, let's just figure it out. Why did Keith Thurman never fight Errol Spence? They're in the same promotional company. Thurman didn't want the fight. And to me, it just sounds like Errol Spence is trying to get a big purse. And he's afraid that $25 million, which is a guaranteed purse, is just not good enough. Well, you can't fucking guarantee a purse. So how is Terrence Crawford going to fight? You need to guarantee it. I'm not going to hire for $15 an hour. So you're hired for $15 an hour. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, man. I need the money. But it's not guaranteed. So your paycheck comes in and I give you $9. Some days I give you 8. Sometimes I give you, 14. What's this? Well, you accepted the contract. I told you I was going to give you $15 an hour, which is minimum wage here. But, it's not guaranteed. You signed. Well, you told me, no, you signed. So, it's just, the truth always comes out. And you Errol Spence fans, you guys lost your goddamn mind. You can't just make any more excuses, man. You need that troll to come out over and start speaking the facts. Because everything, I've seen this dude duck Terrence Crawford in so many different ways. Even when he was getting off the stadium, when the Sean Porter fight came out, everybody tried to interview him. No, I got a flight to take right now. Oh, right now you got to take a flight? You got to go right now? We can't get you in with Terrence Crawford. Well, I got to go because, my flight leaves at, in 10 minutes, man. I got to go. But I thought you're super rich. I thought you could schedule a fight in 30 more minutes. I got to go. Right. Just bullshit. That's what it is. It's horseshit. And this is your fault as a fan of boxing. You have failed boxing because of this garbage. And this is what happens with many fighters. They can't get the fights they want because you're giving the excuse to the wrong fighter. Okay? The one who doesn't want to make the fight. And it's clear who was it. It was PBC and Errol Spence. All in their side. and everything else is horse shit. And that's how I leave it. So peace out to everybody. I hope you enjoy my commentary here. Subscribe to Golden Era Boxing. Subscribe to goldeneraboxing.com. Also in our webpage for those who speak Spanish. And I'll give more clips here. Peace out and to the next one.